I don't know if I would necessarily recommend it to anybody. Hello, welcome to Rizal Reads. I'm Deja, and today we are going to be doing another reading vlog. It has been quite a few days since I did my last reading vlog, and as you can probably tell by the sound of my voice, I'm not exactly sick, but I am having really bad allergies with my throat. It's just giving me like itchy throat, and so I've been drinking a lot of tea. I've been trying to drink a lot of like brothy like soups, which you saw me make a Nigerian pepper soup, which is kind of like a spicy soup. I didn't eat like a lot of the meat in it. I drank mostly the broth in it and some of the vegetables that I put in it. But yeah, I feel like drinking the warm teas, which I have my tea right here for this morning. But drinking my teas and drinking just like some soups and stuff have been helping my throat. So I'm not sick. I feel fine, but my throat, I can't really be like talking like that because I just keep feeling like I'm gonna like cough or something because of how like itchy it is. So I'm not gonna spend long on this intro because I am trying to preserve my voice because I do have quite a few things that I want to do in this video and I don't want to get full on sick. So I'm thinking for this vlog it will be kind of like a cozy fall vibe. I have a few things planned. I do want to decorate for fall in this video, and I do plan to attend the Book Harvest Festival as a volunteer, which will be this upcoming weekend. So I'm excited for that. I'm not excited for the wake up time, but I am excited to just see how everything is. I'm in this like group chat right now with all of the volunteers, and I don't know, I'm learning so much about book events. Like I've never heard about like trades, which I guess is a thing. I guess people bring like bookish things like stickers or bookmarks or something to like trade with each other, and I've never heard of that. So I don't know. I'm learning so much more about the bookish events community, and it's interesting. So yeah, I'm excited to go to that one just to see just a few authors that I've been keeping my eye on. Some of their books are only available on Amazon, and I don't really want to buy on Amazon, so it will be nice to be able to see them in person so I can buy those books in person rather than through Amazon. And as you saw, like I already have like my pumpkin spice coffee creamer. I'm very basic when it comes to coffee. Like I literally just put a little bit of creamer in my coffee and then I drink it. So I don't know. I feel like I'm having a good fall so far. I haven't been doing like much, and besides like my voice, like I feel like I've been good. So I'm excited for this like little cozy vlog. I was planning to do more of like a spooky-ish kind of reading vlog as well, like in terms of the books that I was reading, but I don't think that's gonna happen in this vlog. I think I'm just gonna try to finish what I already have obligations for because there's a few arcs that I have that I need to get to, and I'm still trying to finish favorite star. I've made a decent amount of progress in this so far. I'm on chapter 18, and so I think I have about, what, 200 pages left. So I feel like I could finish that pretty easily, especially because like things are starting to pick up a little bit in this book. But the thing that I feel like I'm starting to realize about this second book is that like things are happening, but like I feel like whereas in like the first one, you could tell things were happening and it was leading up to a point. But in the second book, I feel like what's happening is that like things are happening, of course, but like I feel like I don't know where we are going with like the things that are happening. At the beginning of the first book, like we knew these characters had a goal. Like Serapio, he needed to get to a certain destination. Shiala, she was also helping Serapio get to that destination. Narampa, she wanted to be the Sun Priest. But like here, I feel like everything is still very reactionary to like what happened to the first book, that like I'm not exactly sure where the plot is going in the second book. So like this slow build up that I liked in the first book isn't necessarily making me like it in the second book because I don't know where we're going. And so I feel like that's just kind of a symptom of middle book syndrome. Like it's not bad, but I'm not terribly engaged with it. So I do plan to read Mirrored Heavens in October. So yeah, I am interested to see like where the story goes, to see how it leads into the next one. So yeah, I'm still reading that. You probably saw from the clips that I was reading As Long as You're Mine, which is a historical mystery type of thing. But I DNF'd that. I was actually talking in like a group chat about it because I know there's like one other person who has read the author before. But yeah, I ended up DNFing it because like for one, there's only one character in this story who's black. And not to say that I need all black stories or anything, but like I came in this for like the 30s like Hollywood vibe, and I was interested to see it from like a black person's perspective, trying to be in Hollywood at that time and be like more immersed in that time. But first of all, the character is passing, so like the one black character we have isn't even acting as if they are a black person, if that makes sense. And then in terms of like wanting that 1930s vibe, I feel like I didn't get that at all. Like I feel like that was pretty much not there. It actually could have been like contemporary and I wouldn't have known the difference if it wasn't for like the timestamps for saying like this part is in the 1930s and this part is in the 1950s. Like it could have taken place in modern day and I would never have known. So there's that. And then there's also just the fact that like the one lone passing black character, she's just kind of messy. Like I get that's like part of her character, but like I don't know. I just there's just I don't know. She's having an affair with a one of her co-stars who's married, and I just the fact that she's also the only black person in this, she's having an affair and she's just like the messiest character in the story. I just don't like the optics of that. And I like messy characters. I like people that have like emotional problems and stuff like that. But like I don't know, just everything building up around that, like I just wasn't really a fan. And I also just didn't really like her voice, to be honest. Like I feel like she was kind of annoying, just to read her perspective. So I just wasn't really engaged with her. But also, I think that the other perspective, like there was nothing really interesting about her. Her name is like Thea. She was like 20. She's the adopted daughter of the guy that the passing black character was having an affair with. So yeah, and honestly, I'm not gonna spoil it, but like if you just kind of guess what's going to happen in like the mystery plot, that's pretty much what happened. Because even though I DNF'd it, I skipped to the end and I was just like, wow, that's not interesting at all. Like there was literally like no surprise at all that like who ended up being like the person who killed the black person, because yeah, like I feel like the story is just very predictable. No surprise turns. There was literally nothing about this story that was like, I'm interested in this. But yeah, I DNF'd that one, and I don't know if I would necessarily recommend it to anybody. So yeah, there's that. I also started The River and the Star, which is the sequel to The Sun and the Void. I was very confused in the beginning. Like, I was just like, who are these people again? And I almost feel like I should have did a reread, but I'm not at the point that I want to do a reread yet. Like, I know I had problems in the first book, and I have vague ideas of what happened in the first book as well. I remember having pacing problems in the first book, but like the way that it left off made me intrigued to see like where the story is going to go now. And I will say I'm only confused because there's just like a large cast of characters that I pretty much forgot about. And I will say that like as I'm continuing to read it, like I'm being reminded of like some of the things that have happened and just like who they're connected to. And so like I'm appreciating that, but I almost still wish I did a reread before starting this. And I don't know how that's going to impact my enjoyment of the story going forward. Like the parts that I remember of the first book are the parts that I was most intrigued about. And so like those parts like I am connecting to like what's happening in the beginning and like where those characters have left off. And so I feel like I understand enough about what happened in the first book not to have to reread it to read this one. But just some of like the little characters like that like I'm not sure. But besides that, I'm okay with like how the story is going. I will say that so far people have had an issue with the pacing. I don't necessarily think that it's better. I think I'm about like what 14% into the story right now, and I don't know, there's just like some scenes that just like some of it is like, okay, we're getting a recap of like what happened in the first book, and I'm like, okay, cool. But the other parts, I don't know. I'm just like, we're building this like romance with like these two characters. Like there was just like some kind of jealousy thing happening. And I'm just like, but where is the story going? Like, what is going to be the plot of this book? And I feel like we still haven't necessarily gotten that yet. I'm just not hooked so far on wanting to see these characters like and where they're going to go with this story. And I still really like the world. I really love the infusion of the Venezuelan culture in it. So like I really appreciate that, and I like being in the world because of that. But when it comes to like the characters and like the plot, like I'm not necessarily like hooked yet. And so I'm still gonna continue this because I'm intrigued to see where the story goes. And I know sometimes with fantasy like it just takes a minute to really get you involved. And so I'm basically reading those two books, Fever Star and The River and the Star. And I know that neither of those books are like fall themed, but you know, I feel like it's okay because I need to get to them. But that's basically my little intro for this, and I talked way more than I wanted to. So I'm going to rest my voice before I go to work and drink my tea, potentially read a little bit. But there's like a few like writer admin things I need to do as well because my cover stuff is still happening right now. So I need to actually write the back cover copy of the book. So yeah, that's pretty much gonna be my morning. But I hope that you enjoyed this video, and I will check in with you guys later. Okay, I think that I am officially a book event girl because I had a great time at Book Harvest. You saw some of the clips that I took while I was there with some of like the authors that I saw. I didn't do a lot of video recording because there was like a rule against like videotaping unless you had the author's explicit consent. So I didn't want to do like a whole like overview of like the entire event just because some authors had some safety concerns. So I didn't want to put their lives at stake. And that is actually kind of wild to think about, that like the book community is engaging in like that kind of dangerous behavior. But yeah, other than that, I had a great time at the event. I was a volunteer and I was really volunteering just to see like how I would like an event like this. And like I said, like I had a great time. I got to meet some authors. I was part of like the registration process, so I helped with that. A few times I was helping with like the signing. There was actually a few popular authors that were ticketed, and so I got to help one of the authors there, and I actually bought one of their books because they were just like really cool. So I'll do like a little bit of book haul in a few seconds, but I did want to just like talk about like my overall experience. I feel like next time I would go, I would try to be at the venue because I had to wake up super early just to get to my shifts on time, and it was just like really tiring to do that since I had to get up like, I don't know, maybe like an hour and a half early before I would actually leave my house to actually get there on time. So I think next time I would definitely probably stay around the area that I'm going to the event for. I think that this was their first event and I feel like it went pretty smoothly. As a volunteer, I didn't know a lot, and there was just like a lot of things just that I didn't even know just because of I've never attended an event before, at least a bookish event before. But I feel like overall it was a good experience. I feel like I would probably go to a more diverse one next time, because not that this one wasn't diverse, I feel like it was, but it felt more in the background. I feel like most of the authors didn't write diverse books, which I kind of knew from the lineup. And the only reason why I was really going to volunteer in the first place is because my friend was supposed to go and she ended up not being able to go to the event, but I still wanted to volunteer just to see how I would feel about it. But I think I would definitely prioritize going to an event that had more BIPOC authors and LGBTQ authors and just more variety. I didn't get to go to the panels because I was volunteering, but I did hear that those went well. They had like the stereotypical like one diverse panel, I guess, but yeah, I don't know. It almost felt like this was like a subdued, darker romance kind of event. Like not everyone was writing dark romance, but I feel like a lot of the bigger ticketed authors, they were writing more of the darker romances. And actually, one of the authors that I was working for as a volunteer, I think her name is Caitlin Taylor. I don't know if anybody knows her, but like she's super cool. I really liked engaging with her and just like talking to her and like her assistants and stuff. But I remember I was talking to like one of her assistants because as like Caitlin was describing like one of her, like some of her books, I was just like, oh, this is wild, like this is what happens in dark romance. And so when I was talking to her assistant just like about the books, she was saying that a lot of these events are starting to get like more darker just because I guess it's kind of more trendy. And so yeah, I feel like I would have to definitely be more particular in like the events that I go to, because I'm not necessarily into dark romance. Like I don't think that will be my lane, but like I was able to find like a few authors that were kind of like mixed in there that were not that super dark or like not that like super spicy. Because another thing that I did notice for this event, since it was an 18+ event and it felt like it was more romance focused even though it wasn't a romance event, but I found that like some authors had like some not safe for work artwork like just displayed everywhere, and like I'm not a prude by any means, but I'm also like it's not something I necessarily just want to see passing by. And so I almost wish that it would have been like sectioned off in like a separate area. But like I don't know, I was able to like avoid it most of the time, but as I was working, like there was like sometimes I wasn't able to like avoid seeing the artwork. Like, I'm okay reading it, but like, I don't need artwork for that. Like, I don't know. But it's just me. It's just me. I know like they're having it because people want it. Like, even at the table that I was working with Caitlin Taylor, like people were pulling like the art prints and stuff because most of them were giving it away for free. And so like, I know that there's an audience for it, but that's also why I'm just like, okay, the next time I go to an event, like I just want to make sure that like it's kind of like giving like the vibes that I want. And I will say like one of my like highlights is just like being in a room full of like people who just love books and love like the stories and like just love like the authors that they're saying. Like, I just really love that energy, and I feel like that's just something that you cannot replace on the bookish internet. And I feel like that's like what I'm really hoping to get out of a lot of these like bookish events. Like, I feel like the book community online can be a little toxic sometimes, but being in like a physical space with people that just love books, that are treating these authors like they are celebrities and just so excited to like take pictures with them and everything, like I love that energy, and I just can't wait to like engage in that more, just as an author, as a reader. Like, I want more of that energy. So I definitely think that I am a bookish event person now, and I love it. I did want to go through like some of the books that I did get. Some of them I got for free because in the swag bag we actually I think got like 3 books for free, but I did also buy a few things, and so I'm just gonna go through like really quick like what I ended up getting. And I also have an order that I got from Resist Booksellers that I ordered back in September. So this is gonna be like a little book haul, I guess. Not a little book haul because I got quite a few books, but yeah, we're gonna go through some of the books that I have hauled. So the first thing is that we got like this swag bag full of just like things, and I haven't actually been through the swag bag. Like, as soon as I got it, I literally just put the books that I bought in it, and I just put it on my floor. So let's go through some of what I was able to get. So the first thing I'm seeing is this water mug, the Book Harvest 2025. I like the shape of this, so I can definitely see myself using it. It's looking like one of the first books that they gave us for free is this one. I know for sure I will probably not read this, but I have no idea what this is about. I've never even heard of this author. It looks like the other 2 books that I got for free is Her Greatest Mistake by Hannah Cowan. Looks like a hockey romance in a special edition, probably. I don't know where this is from, but it's in like a case wrap, so I don't know. I probably won't read this either. Also by Hannah Cowan, it looks like I have Her Greatest Adventure. I will be unhauling this. Potentially this is like a Vegas wedding or something. I don't know. I've never heard of this, so yeah, unhaul. Then it looks like I have Dark Eternity. I like this cover, but I've never heard of this. Looks like it's kind of like a special edition too. This one looks like a fantasy romance. I could actually see myself trying this just because it's more along the lines of what I would actually try. I'm not really going to read white contemporary romance, so yeah. But now I'm going to get into the books that I actually bought. The first one was actually this omnibus by Alison Carr Richter. And so this omnibus is the 2 books that are in the Ethereals duology, I guess. And so this has both books. This is the cover of the original book, The Hollowed Plains, I think. The author was saying that it's more like fantasy. There's like some romance, of course, but like it's more fantasy. And there's like these weird like crow people or something. And so I'm just like, I'm intrigued. We'll see how it goes. Of course, the author signed it. And I actually feel like I have, now that I'm like looking at the back, I feel like I have one of their books on ebook. So yeah, I'm intrigued. I also got this bookmark, which is The Couple. So yeah, I'm excited to try this. I know it's like romance, but it's also heavy on the fantasy. So I am intrigued to try it and see what I think of it. The next book I have is actually the one that I was telling you guys about, but I was like helping the ticketed author and I thought that she was cool. But this is Jagged Hearts by Caitlin Taylor. I was really like just sold on this one just because like I know it isn't as dark as
their newer works, but I also know that it's a little bit more angsty, and I'm trying to find my footing in romances, and so I'm trying to see, do I like angsty romances? Like, I feel like I do, especially because I like the heavy as the head duology, and so I'm wondering if I would like this angsty contemporary romances. And the author was saying that like a lot of people, like, they still like go back to the series, and this is like a good introduction into their work if you don't want like something like super dark. And so yeah, I'm interested. I think this follows like some MMA fighters, which I didn't even know what that was, but I guess it's like kind of boxing related. So yeah, I'm ready for the angst, and we'll see how I think about it. The next one that I have is actually one that I kept going back to the author's table, and I just like, should I buy a copy? Because as I was like reading some of like the things that they were saying was in it, I was just like, I'm very intrigued. Like, it was saying it's like dark fantasy, it has like some evil elves, and like it just felt more fantasy to me, and I was just like, I don't know. But then there was also like one thing on their little like character card that they were just like, this is more kinky, and I'm just like, I don't know how I will feel about this. But this book that I'm talking about is A Debt of Shattered Hope. And this is an author, I feel like they unpublished for a minute because they wrote Obsidian Feathers. And I haven't read that one. I have that one on ebook, but I was convinced to read this because this has fae. So I kind of was like a little iffy about that because I feel like everything has fae these days. But the darker fae elements is what intrigued me. And the first time I went around, I think it was their like assistant that was like telling me that like maybe I probably won't like this book because like there is like some spicy scenes and stuff and like that, and I'm just like, I don't know how I'm gonna deal with that. Like, I don't know. And it's not like I'm against spice, but like I'm just like, I don't like too much spice. So the first time like I went over there, I was like, okay, maybe I'm not going to. But the author wasn't there, and so I wanted to talk to the author to see what they would say, because they were on like a bathroom break or something. And so the second time I went around, I was just like, okay, I was talking to your assistant about this. I want this book, but like I'm also like hesitant because I'm not sure how I will like it. And what really like sold me is that she was saying that there's like a lot of like tension, like romantic tension, and I love romantic tension. Like, literally, I love the tension that comes with romance. Like, that's the tension that I want. But if like you're building up that like tension between the characters and you're just like, I want you guys to get together already and like all of that, then I'm just like, that's what I want. And I was like, then I don't even mind reading like spicy scenes. And the author was saying that there is like a lot of tension in this. And I guess like some of the kinky scenes, like she was like saying there's like some blood play or something like that. And I'm just like, I like vampires, and so like I don't mind like blood play and stuff. And she was even telling me that like the spice serves the plot, and I'm just like, thank you. That's all I want from fantasy romance. Literally, the fact that she said that the spice serves the plot is what made me like, okay, I gotta buy it. And I told them that I'm very much more like a fantasy reader than I am like a romance person. And she's like, this is like a good book for you. Like, this is more fantasy, but it does have romance in it. And I'm just like, thank you. Like, I feel like I'm gonna like this. It's going to be a duology. I did get a bookmark with it, and if you got the hardback, you could have got like some character art. Some of it was like spicy, but I don't want spicy art, so I just got the paperback because I prefer reading paperback anyway. And then of course the author signed it for me, and I don't know, I'm super excited to read this. I really hope that I love it. It sounds so good to me. Like, I really want to love this. Another book that I'm really excited to try is this author's like first fantasy book, and that is Daughter of the Dead by Kay Jamila. I actually follow this author on Threads under my romance pen name, and I was really intrigued with this. Of course, I got like some artwork and a bookmark and stuff. So this is like the bookmark that I got that shows the 3 characters, and there is like a art print that I got too for free. So I was really intrigued with this because it is Avatar inspired. I think the author said that if what is that one girl's name? I'm not like a huge Avatar stan. Like, I literally watched it for the first time as an adult. It's like Prince Zuko's sister, I feel like, whatever her name was. I feel like has like some kind of like inspiration from that character, and so I was intrigued because I remember I liked her in Avatar. The author also said that this one is like a little bit like less on the romance, like it's very much like a slow burn romance, and I'm expecting like a lot of like tension. I'm expecting a lot of like the fantasy plot. And the sample that I actually tried, because I'm on the author's newsletter, the sample that I tried from their book funnel, I was intrigued because the book started out interesting to me. I wanted to support. I really like the cover. The second book is already done and in progress, and so like I'm intrigued to see what I think about this one. I really hope that I love it. Like I'm so excited, and I really do love this cover. The next one that I bought is Song of Sin by E.M. Lacey. This is the author that I have read before, that I didn't necessarily like that book that I tried, but I have been wanting to try this one. This is part of like a collection of stories by Black fantasy authors, and they're all standalones, but they're kind of like set in the same world. And I know that this one, it focuses on werewolves. The author was actually telling me that they have another werewolf project that they're thinking about, and I feel like their projects give me more old school paranormal vibes, which I really appreciate. So I decided to try this copy. I'm still not sure what this is about. I know that it has trials in it, and that can be very hit or miss for me, but they were one of the few Black authors in the event, and so I of course had to buy something because yeah, I needed to support. So I'm intrigued to see what I think about it. It doesn't look like it's too long, so yeah, it looks like it's less than 300 pages. So this could be an interesting book, and I hope that I enjoy it. And then one of the first books that I bought was actually from Tania Montfort. And I've been seeing this book because I'm also on this author's newsletter. But I bought the first two books in their new series, The California Kings. So this is book 1, Lush, and this is book 2, Lavish. And honestly, I really wanted these books because it's giving me soap opera, contemporary romance vibes. I feel like the author was saying it was like General Hospital, and I forgot the other comp that they use. And because like I don't know either one of those comps, but I'm just like, this sounds messy and dramatic, and I kind of want to read it. So yeah, I got a copy of both of these, and so I'm excited. I think the author said that they're working on book 3, and I'm not sure how many books there are going to be. I feel like it's 4. Maybe it's just a trilogy though. I don't know. I'm intrigued with both of these, so I can't wait to dive into these and see what I think about it. I feel like just because it gives me more drama vibes in romance, like that's what I'm looking for. So I'm excited to try these out and see what I think of them. The author was also giving away like free books, so I also got this copy. It's part of a series. I think this was the 3rd book in the series, but they're all interconnected standalones. So yeah, she was just giving this away for free, and I don't know what this is about. I just plan to read the author's backlist anyway, especially if I love Lush and Lavish. So also with Tania, I got some free character stuff. So first I got like these 2 bookmarks for Lush and Lavish, which of course more bookmarks, and it looks like there are quotes on the back for each of them. But what I was really excited to get were these art prints. Like I've been seeing this art on Instagram and like their newsletter and stuff, and I'm just obsessed. I feel like this is the couple from the first book. It is an interracial couple, but I just really love this artwork. Like it gives me so many like fancy Black people vibes, and I just love how lavish that they look. And then this is the second one, of course, a Black romance, and I really appreciate that this author like mixes it up. Like they're not fully Black romance and they're not fully interracial. Like I like that they mix it up. I feel like they still primarily write Black romance, but they still mix it up sometimes. And so I'm intrigued to see this couple too. They look very classy, and I'm just, oh my gosh, I just feel like I'm gonna love this so much, and I'm so excited, and I just can't wait to display this on my bookshelf because this is gorgeous, and I'm so happy to have a copy. I thought that was everything that I hauled, but there was actually like 2 other things that I bought because of course I did. So I actually ended up getting some candy. So I got these gummy candies. This is the Fantasy Reader one, which is more of like a sour mix, and it's actually pretty good. Like it's sour, but it's not like super sour to me, and so I really like this. I was like, of course I have to get this because Fantasy Reader, like of course. And I'm not expecting to eat all of these. not at all. Like, I'm not a huge candy person, but I was like, I kind of like these, and they last for months, so I could definitely just like slowly snack on these. So I got this one. I also got Slow Burn, which is like a spicy mix, which is interesting. But like, I tasted this yesterday and I was just like, oh my gosh, like, I feel like the spiciness of it was definitely a slow burn. Like, at first I was like, oh, this isn't spicy, and then it hit me and I was like, oh, this is definitely a slow burn. I like both of them. I don't know which one I would prefer. Like, I think both of them are nice. But yeah, I definitely wanted to get these. So yeah, that is what I got from Book Harvest, and I really enjoyed it. So now I just want to quickly go over what I got from Resist Booksellers in September, because yeah, I actually decided to get a few books from there too. So this is the box that they sent it in. I need to undo it somehow. It looks like it's very taped up, so yeah, give me a second to undo this. Okay, so the first book that I bought is actually The Memory of the Ogissi. I saw it on their site and I was like, I want a copy of this entire series. So I did buy the novella. I still need to get the first two of this series, but I'm still thinking about this book like a few months later. Like, I really love this trilogy. Like, I love it so much. I can see myself rereading it. I needed to have a copy, and so I did buy a copy. The next three books that I bought are actually in the same series. I bought Forbidden by Beverly Jenkins. I bought Breathless by Beverly Jenkins, and then I bought the last one, Tempest. And honestly, I have a special place in my heart for these three books because they are really got me into romance, and especially like historical romance, especially Forbidden. Like, this was the first like romance that I think I read, at least the first adult romance, and it really just started me on my romance journey. And I still think about like these characters and just all of it. Like, I just really appreciated this story, and really just like the entire trilogy. Like, I really appreciated all of them, and I can see myself rereading these just because they hold a special place in my heart. And so I wanted to have a copy before they go out of print, because you know, they're just making things go out of print faster, and I wanted to have my own copy of the trilogy. The next two books that I have are Kindred by Octavia Butler. I wanted to get the graphic novel adaptation of it because I have the one up Parable of the Sower. I still need to get Parable of the Talent, but I wanted to get Kindred as well. I haven't read Kindred yet, but I really like Octavia Butler as a writer, and so I'm intrigued to see how they put it into a graphic novel format. And then I bought a nonfiction book, Black AF History. I'm trying to get more into nonfiction just because, you know, the world, and I've heard that this one is good, and so I wanted to get a copy for myself so that way I could like tab it up, make my own notes and stuff. And so yeah, I wanted to get a copy of this one. But that's my book haul. I feel like it was a pretty good book haul. I'm excited for all of the books that I did haul. I feel like that just shows that I need to actually start reading the books that are on my shelves, because at this point, like, I have way too many books. I need to read more of the books that I own, especially because I'm excited for more of them. And I do know that like the books that I'm hauling now, like, they are more books that represent my reading a little bit more. And so yeah, I'm excited that I have the means to haul some of these books, and I'm really hoping that I like them. I feel like this is like a good place to close out the vlog. I know that I said I was going to decorate for fall, probably finish like Favorite Star and The River and the Star, but I'm not going to. I feel like this vlog is already very long just because of my little book haul and going to the event and all of that. I do want to do like a quick update on like where I'm at in my reading, because I have been reading. I read like 100 pages more of Favorite Star. I still am not like in love with it, but like it's getting a little bit more interesting to me. So yeah, I just feel like it's suffering from second book syndrome. Like, I can't say too much because it's the second book, but it is second book syndrome, and I'm just not in love with it. So that's disappointing. The River and the Star, I also feel like it's suffering from second book syndrome. If you did not like the first book in terms of like the pacing and stuff. Like I feel like me being like 35% into it now, I still feel like it's struggling with pacing, and it's actually a lot more romantic than the first book was. Like I feel like there was like a little bit there, but like almost like every single one of Reina's chapters have been very much like building that romance between Mayor and Reina, and like it's fine, but I'm also like, I need the plot, and it's starting to come up now. Like it is slowly building up, like they're setting up the stakes and stuff, but like the pacing is still not good in this, and I hate that because the world is cool. I feel like the politics could be cool too, but the pacing is just making me struggle through this so bad. And so yeah, I don't feel like I'm gonna DNF it, but it's just not as strong as I would have wanted it to be. And so I can see myself finishing that in like maybe a few weeks or something, but you know, I don't know. I don't know. We'll leave it at that. We'll see how I feel about the end, because it is starting to pick up now, but I'm not super impressed right now. But yeah, like I said, I feel like that's a good place to stop this video. So let me know how you feel about bookish events. Have you been to any? Do you have any that you recommend, especially that like focus on more diverse authors? I would definitely love to know. And if you don't want to leave a comment like that, you can always just leave whatever emoji I put on the screen. But until next time, I really thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!